103.4 The Personal Foundation. Hello and welcome to the Cosmic Experience of One. This is an awareness-expanding course that should be absorbed in order. Like a university course, this course's information builds upon itself, so you would be doing yourself a disservice if you took it in out of order. If you do not watch it in order, you might not comprehend the material, or worse, you will think you fully understood it and walk away with a skewed interpretation. Do yourself a favor and first view 101.1, 101.2, 101.3, and 101.4, which are all in one video that starts with an introduction to this course. Then continue on in viewing the subjects in order. The introduction to this course needs to be taken in first in order to know the nature of this awareness-expanding course. Think of this course as a book where you will not understand it fully if you do not read the chapters in order. Chapter 1 being the introduction that is imperative to take in first. So please click on the link in the description section under this video to view the first video. Once red ray foundational matters such as survival, fear, anger, and the mental pain threshold are overcome, the orange ray chakra is where the bulk of unhealthy emotions stem from, because personal issues are the most intense since they directly address the individual. Unhealthy emotions stem from the yellow ray chakra as one group verbally or physically battles another, but it is shared and dispersed throughout the group, making it less intense for each individual within the group. If it is personal, it is all on one individual. Anything that is taken personally is an orange ray chakra issue. It may appear that the orange ray chakra lessons focus on two sets of aspects, personal and one-on-one interactions with other beings, rather than one related set of focus like the rest of the chakra rays, but this is not the case. The focus of the orange ray chakra lessons of the personal or of the self and one-on-one interactions with other beings or other selves is the same from a higher viewpoint, as each being is a self that comprises the whole self, the one beingness / source. All beings are the one being in reality. It is only in the cosmic illusion that each being / self is seemingly separate from another self. The formative years up to age 18 is a pivotal period for a human being's orange ray / personal development. Since the small family unit is the first place a being grows within and learns from, family interactions and atmosphere may be considered the root of many orange ray matters, strengths, and weaknesses. The young human being is prepared in the small family unit, so it may then be ready to interact and live within a larger group, a society. Unhealthy family situations while growing up in these impressionable years leads to unhealthy personal identification attachments. Healthy family situations create a strong base for a being's personal development and equip them to function amicably within a community. The educational years before university are very important for a being's personal / orange ray chakra development, because children get to interact with other children their age, offering countless opportunities for growth in these formative years. Homeschooling hinders this growth even if group times with other children are organized, because it does not provide everyday interactions like at a public school. If homeschooling becomes a necessity due to negatively oriented human beings having too much control and influence and degrading school's learning material, organizing as much group time for interactions with other children is important, as interacting with other children should be considered a subject by itself. Around the age of 16 to 18, a human being has developed a personal foundation, for better or for worse, that they then use when interacting within a society, which is where they are offered countless opportunities to continue their personal growth. The orange ray chakra is where low self-esteem and a lack of confidence is displayed while interacting within a society or during alone times. If this occurs, unhealthy thoughts and emotions may be created while alone and while interacting with others in a society because the being does not understand and accept the uniqueness of themselves. The opposite personal issues of being arrogant and egotistical may arise from an unhealthy family upbringing, which is displayed and possibly strengthened in the educational system, and then has to be dealt with when the being starts interacting with a society as an adult. This issue also arises from a being not understanding and accepting the uniqueness of themselves. Both of these issues, thinking too little or too much of oneself, if not addressed, may lead to problems while interacting within a society. The worst case scenario involves these beings becoming murderers, either one-offs or serial killers. In both cases, low self-esteem and being egotistical, the being mentally justifies their actions to a certain degree while force transitioning / killing another being. The orange and yellow ray chakra related lessons are at the center of the battle between positive and negative polarity in the third density experience. When negatively oriented human beings gain the upper hand in a society or planet, they work to shape their society or planet by manipulating these personal / orange ray chakra issues and attack the family unit so they can strike at the core structure of a being's personal development to more easily manipulate and control the majority. They turn the educational system, which includes universities, into a system more fit for indoctrination rather than education. Positions of power and or influence are handed out to those with personal issues because they are easier to manipulate and control. In some cases, in order to gain positions of power and or influence, a human being has to prove themselves by force transitioning another being. This proves they are able to be heavily manipulated and gives their controllers blackmail over them, so they will continue to do what they are told or face the consequences. Many beings on Earth who are revered and admired by the majority for having their powerful, influential, or famous positions have force transitioned other beings behind closed doors and are quite the opposite of what they seem in the eyes of the majority. Until approximately 2017 CE, negatively oriented human beings had the upper hand on Earth. Ever since then, it has been an intense battle that most of the majority are unaware of, with the negatively oriented human beings utilizing orange and yellow ray chakra matters to manipulate and control the majority even more in a brash manner due to fear of losing more of their control to the positively oriented human beings who are working together for the majority. Some of these beings used to practice negatively polarizing actions, but have changed their ways to practice service to others' actions. A portion of the majority has allowed themselves to be programmed enough that they are actively fighting against positively oriented human beings who are attempting to assist them. This is akin to a slave who is not aware their masters are treating them badly and not only reject being freed by the attempting freer, but actively work with their masters at destroying those trying to free them so they can stay slaves. Even human beings who lack observation skills have noticed these highly charged, erratic situations occurring in your present time, but most are not aware of their root cause. They think the root problem stems from a group issue, such as a political party or a nation, or another group affiliated with yellow ray chakra issues. The orange ray chakra issue of being self-centered also may be fostered in the family unit, especially if they are an only child, and then developed further as an adult. These beings have yet to understand that they are part of a society and that what benefits others also benefits themselves, as working together acts at creating harmony where all prosper. The more unresolved personal issues a being has increases the chances of dysfunctional and unhealthy interactions and relationships with other selves, friends, lovers, co-workers, strangers. Instead of focusing on improving the self, an individual may compare oneself to another and be jealous. They may focus on manipulation or general negativity toward those they are jealous of, instead of focusing on their inner work, which would alleviate such negativity. Jealousy stems from not realizing that all have a unique path and all have unique characteristics. The uniqueness of beings provides a society with the different skills and abilities that assist in that society running more efficiently, which in turn also offers Source unique experiences that it can further learn more about itself from. Another orange ray chakra matter that focuses on the personal self comes through by way of Earthlings online platforms that share a human being's life through words, events, pictures, videos, and reviews of anything from prepared foodstuffs to books. The larger one's following, the larger the chance of charging the want to keep and build one's status in the eyes of others, catering to their personal issues. They start to play an unhealthy game of attempting to keep and or build their status through followers and staying quote-unquote relevant. Sharing one's passions and helpful information on online platforms is a healthy and beneficial outlet as long as the goal is to share one's passions and give helpful information rather than merely collecting followers and building their status or ego. If the aim is service to others, which is positively oriented, one may take delight in their increasing viewers because it allows them to give service to more beings. It is the motive and what is mentally being focused on that is important here. A sharer with low viewers may continue to share regardless of their numbers because they are being of service and pursuing their passion. A sharer who is mostly focused on follower numbers tends to stop sharing if they do not acquire the following they desire in a certain period of time. To assess where your mental aim resides regarding your online platform sharing, observe your internal state to find out your true motive. Are you doing it for status and fame or for assistance and from passion? It may be both. In this case, one can continue sharing and work on disassociating their work with status and fame. Then when the status and or fame departs, and it always does at some point, it will not elicit a personal / emotional response. Instead, one feels grateful they were able to provide service to others' aid for a period of time. This applies not only to online platforms, but to all positions and roles that involve notoriety. If notoriety is used to service others, it is admirable. If notoriety is used to solely service the self, it is an orange ray chakra issue that needs overcoming. Identifying with aspects outside oneself and roles played in society may be an individual's way at utilizing self-deception and unconsciously avoiding personal growth. Perceived important and unimportant jobs on Earth come with a level of status that the self and other selves use to attach identity to. Some human beings seek jobs with high status instead of following their passions, so others are impressed and deem them as quote-unquote successful. Some parents push their offspring to certain jobs so they can live through their offspring's quote-unquote success and brag to others. In both circumstances, from self or parent, as well as solely for monetary reasons, the human ends up in a field they most likely were not meant to be in, not abiding to their pre-incarnate plans and not utilizing their passion. This adds to the great possibility that the human being eventually becomes discontent or even loathes their job, which typically leads to not performing the service well, if they even performed it well to begin with. Each time this happens, a job position in its field is taken away from another being who could have performed it well because it was their passion, naturally improving themselves at it and seeking the position not due to the money, status, or fame it possibly affords. The perceived importance of jobs on Earth by human beings is calculated by status and monetary intake instead of by their value to society. This mindset is heavily distorted and typically leads to major disharmony issues for the society or planet. A garbage collector plays a vital role in a society, but they are given low status. It may not require a lot of skill, but it is essential. A Wall Street worker offers not only no benefit to society, but actively harms individuals in a society, but they are given high status because their monetary intake is large. These are only two of a myriad of examples that could be given. Civilizations and planets like Earth that have been captured by a monetary system breed mental disease, corruption, disharmony, and offer negatively oriented third density beings and negative fourth density beings a substantial advantage at manipulating and controlling the third density majority. Part of an individual's uniqueness determines how many friendships they focus on. Choosing to focus on less friendships that are closer in connection, or spreading one's time across many friendships. Either is fine. What matters is whether an individual gives themselves enough alone time to focus on understanding and accepting oneself, which is done by analyzing and integrating experiences had with oneself and with others. Balance in this alone time analyzing and integration is also needed for the effectiveness of personal growth. Too much alone time spent overanalyzing spins one's mental wheels to the point of inefficiency. Instead, more experiences with self and other selves is necessary to collect more experimental data to work with. Oppositely, spending not enough alone time analyzing and integrating does not give one adequate time to understand and accept themselves and their interactions with other selves, collecting more experimental data than one gives time to process, understand, and integrate. If one is in a relationship that affords them little to no alone time, personal growth may be majorly hindered. Spending some time apart is not only healthy for alone time processing, but is also healthy for the relationship. When one overcomes personal issues and adequately balances their orange ray chakra, especially if they are actively working on their green ray chakra, disconnects may arise between friends and lovers who have not adequately overcome their personal issues. These individuals may try to hold the balanced individual to their old ways, because the old ways might be the sole or major foundation for the relationship. Lifestyles shared with friends and lovers, like overindulging in alcohol, drugs, acting out dramas, complaining, misery, superficiality, or any other unhealthy habit, may attempt to be maintained by friends and lovers. Or you may be a positive example they can recognize and attempt to change and progress with you. If they cannot accept the new and improved you, the connection with them may have overstayed its welcome. This is nothing to be sad about, as all have the free will to experience a certain path for as long as they like. Change is constant. The possible change in outlooks, situations, friends, lovers, jobs, etc., is all part of flowing down the rivers that lead back to the ocean. If some of these elements do not change, stagnation of growth is occurring. Personal or spiritual boundaries are necessary for the well-being and continued progression of a being. If boundaries are not applied, one may find themselves not having enough alone time, or worse, one may find themselves being dragged into the mud by another regardless of whether enough alone time is had or not. If ongoing interactions with a particular individual are deemed too unhealthy for oneself, a full departure from them may be warranted. For some friends, simply getting together less frequently with them may prove to be adequate. If the case is with a family member, spending less time to rarely seeing them is typically better than a full departure. But if the family member or members are deemed highly detrimental to one's personal and spiritual progression, a full departure may be warranted. As always, it is the discernment of the individual. A being who has balanced or is actively balancing their blue or indigo ray chakra may be adversely affected by simply being in close enough proximity with one with enough personal/orange ray chakra issues that their aura, the energy radiating from their chakras, acts and feels harmful even if no words are exchanged. This is like being in close proximity with a human who smokes so heavily that unhealthy chemicals are constantly fumigating from their body and expel such a foul odor that it greatly displeases one just to be near them. They are constantly swimming in it, as they are their personal issues, so they tend not to notice it themselves. This example has correlations, but since it is only a foul smell, it is a lighter hardship than being in contact with a being's aura that acts as a negative cloud. Human beings who heavily smoke for a long enough period to produce such a foul body odor typically possess heavy personal issues. They rely on an intake of unhealthy chemicals in an attempt to mask their pain, which makes their suffering greater instead of being resolved when the root personal issues are addressed. Others abuse alcohol and/or drugs, which includes prescription drugs, in order to temporarily escape their personal issues. Their personal issues are still found waiting for them afterwards, but now they also have other temporary issues, a hangover or the edgy feeling of coming down from an unhealthy drug. A high vantage point method for overcoming a blocked orange ray chakra, which equates to personal issues, no matter what the issue, is the same: to become conscious that all beings are unique for a purpose and are equal regardless of their current position in their society or spiritual progression. All beings who may appear to be separate are actually one being, residing in the one beingness. To do or think anything harmful to another is to do something harmful to oneself. with karma being the all-knowing universal justice system that makes sure each being eventually understands, accepts, and resolves issues with other selves. Conveying this reality may not assist one in overcoming personal issues if it is seen as a lofty spiritual concept that has no bearing in one's incarnation. In this case, one can turn to what all human beings want for their society and planet: a harmonious existence. Apply the golden rule to establish this. Treat other selves as you would like to be treated yourself. The energy one puts out is the energy that returns to them. When something is given to another, it is the same as giving it to oneself. This is reality on more than one level. It is a two-way road that makes a road highly functional and effective. There must be giving and receiving. Anything else is stagnation and decay. As you work on personal issues, recognize that others may be doing the same. Have patience with each other. This course is presented in video format for free to overcome book shadow banning and make its existence known. Now that you know it exists, it's recommended to proceed how this course is intended to be absorbed by book. The title of the book is The Cosmic Experience of One, an awareness expanding course for human beings. The information in this course is more effective and appropriate to be read in book form, where one can pause and ruminate and meditate on the material as they read. Besides the low audio quality in the videos and the protection from targeted spoken words and censorship, the book is a much better way to understand and learn the material. The book contains two more subjects, 104.2 and 104.3, which is my way of thanking those who show their appreciation to my aiding services by purchasing the book. Since we currently live in a broken monetary system, without your show of monetary appreciation for my services, I can't get by and continue to perform service to others acts by writing more meaningful books. Purchasing the book not only shows your appreciation for my services and allows me to live in this monetary system, but the course's material will be easily accessible for your revisiting. To more fully absorb the material, it's recommended to read the book at least twice. You will understand why on your second reading. You can gain positive polarity by doing your part in sharing this awareness expanding course with others. Raising the collective's vibration is a team effort. We cannot do this alone. Your participation is required. Liking and subscribing are also actions that make this course seen by more human beings. A negatively oriented being learns information and keeps it to themselves so they can selfishly benefit over others. A positively oriented being learns information and wants others to benefit from it as well because they care, and they know that aiding others also aids themselves. This is true in more ways than one. As a being gains positive polarity for aiding others, and they benefit again when another's vibration is raised because it raises the whole collective's vibration, which assists all, including the first being who shared. All are connected, all are one. Comments and questions will be read, but I will not reply with comments, nor like comments, nor heart comments, nor interact in the comments section in any way. If comments or questions are found to warrant a reply, the reply will be made in a possible future video. If an account using the same or similar profile picture, channel name, or my author name interacts in any of the ways listed above or other ways, know that it's not me and is a human tool working for the negatively oriented human beings to capture and twist the information in this course or your perception, or smear the messenger. Likewise, human tools may create fake accounts on this platform or others in the same attempt to capture and twist this course's information. Official sources for me are listed in the description field below. Everything else is fake.